Pin. If not, or if you have, my spider senses are tingling and I don't feel you should trust it. But let's get into that anyway. Welcome everyone. My name is Kelita Sahliah. I am an angel. I am a mother and I also dabble in crypto. So this is here where we are, and ultimately we use astronomy. So we look at the visible sky to see how that could impact the market, okay, the crypto market. So welcome everyone. As I said, my name is Kelita Sahliah, and yeah, let's basically get right into it. Welcome. So I do have this astrology calendar that we're going to go through. If you are new, we go into some gematria, what I've feel kind of called to look upon, and then we look into the astrology story of what's happening this cycle. So we are here we're here this cycle from the 19th to the 25th, and then we go into the technical analysis of Bitcoin, XRP, and the DXY. So with that being said, this calendar is in alignment with the visible sky. This is not mainstream astrology because that is inaccurate as fuck. So this is in alignment with the visible sky. You can grab this calendar if you'd like. Right here there is a 40% going on right now. You can download the digital copy. There is a physical copy. I noticed a little discrepancy, so I put the price down. So if you want to grab that, there's not a lot left, so do grab that if you'd like. And of course, 2024 to 2025 calendar is available. The digital copy is available and the physical copy will be available in December, and this is what I use to look at the market as well and what is happening. So I do also offer personal birth chart readings, which is in alignment with the visible sky. So if you'd like to grab that, do. It is 20 pounds for a standard reading and 25 for an extended reading. That will be going up in January. So if you would like one, do grab it for before the holidays come in, and let's get right into it. So as I already said, we look at the sky and see how it could be interpreting the market. We take a look at gematria that's happening on the world stage. Then we look at the astrology story, and as well as the technical analysis for Bitcoin, XRP, and the DXY, as I already said. But let's get into it anyway before time runs out. So the AI pin. Before we get into it, I have to share a disclaimer. There will be an focus video coming out on what I see about this, but please do not trust advanced technology coming out now, because it is not the time in alignment with the sky. As I said, this is all about what is happening in the sky, not mainstream astrology, because mainstream astrology is off by 23 degrees. Okay, it is off by 23 or so degrees. So please do not trust that. Keep that at your forefront as I go through the gematria as the first segment of our video. And also keep in mind, I have to put a big disclaimer. Take every single thing as not a grain of salt, not a pinch of salt, but a bag of salt. Okay, use your own discretion before we get into this. This is very important. Like with the shit that I found, forgive me for my French, but with the shit that I found, it's kind of mind-blowing, and there will be a part 2 for this because I have not covered all. We will go through this quite quickly. I know, for new people, I try to go a little bit slower, but we will go through this as quick as I can and get to the other segments as well with what I have found with this AI pin, this Humane AI pin. Okay, but from the principle of Pluto itself, please do not trust what comes out now. Do not trust what comes out now, because naturally it is not the time for that. It is not the time for all these unique renovations or innovations. Okay? Keep that in mind as we go through the Gematria. And then we'll touch on the astrological story and then the technical analysis. But welcome anyway. So this is my threads. So feel free to follow me here if you would like. It is private, but just, follow and I'll accept. But let's get into it. The Humane AI pin. Now, I only came across this probably about 9 days ago. It's very new to me, and I checked the Gematria and I was like, whoa, my mind was blown. And then my mentor done a Red Pill podcast on his Patreon about it, and I was like, whoa, okay, this is like a signal for me to look into it a little bit deeper. So you're with me now. Let's take a look at the Gematria. For those who do not know, Gematria is how we weigh consciousness, and essentially it shows the relationship that it has with other things. So when we look at the Gematria, we look at the Pacific code that it comes up with, and anything in relation to it, we can see that it has a relationship to that. Now there is a lot in this episode, so if you'd like, take notes. Make sure if anything sticks out to you personally, take note of that, because that will be important specifically for you. And ultimately, let's just get into it. So, confirmation burp. Take everything with a bag of salt and let's get into it. So, Humane AI pin, it comes up with 403, so that gives us the energy of 7. Okay, so we've got source. 7 is kind of like source in terms of dimensional perspective. It is the source. It's kind of like, it's not full completion like the number 9. However, it is that completion of, okay, it's done. I can experience my reality. It represents solitude and a little bit of isolation as well. We'll be looking at the Hebrew and the simple Gematria. Forgive me, I do have a little bit of a cold, but simple Gematria is also ordinal. So we'll be looking at the ordinal as well, which is 111, giving us 3. So that's basically telling me that source 7, 403 equaling 7, is making an impact in the 3 reality, 3rd dimension, which is our physical reality, and it's also creating a new frequency. Okay, so 3 essentially is the coil that energy runs along. So from this Humane pin, a new energy is being incorporated here. And if you've not noticed already, we've got the 666 giving us 12, 24. 24 is X. X marks the spot. Okay, X, XRP, XLM, XPR, XDC, X marks the spot. Okay, X, Twitter. Keep that all in mind as we go through this while having your bag of salt. Okay, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And as I said, this shows a relationship, a connection to all the other things. And I feel it's so important to be aware of it, but not to feed your energy into it. So please keep that in mind. That is the biggest disclaimer. We are being aware of the chain reactions, essentially, of what will come up. And I am going to need your help. If you, like I found all the codes, but if you have a direct pulse, a heart pulse, a flutter in your heart, or a direction to certain things, look into that. Please share it with me if you would like to. And yes, because I can't look into it all. I'm just generally sharing the connections. So if any of these things pop up onto the world stage as we go through it, pay attention. Okay, because the Humane Pin has come about. This Humane Pin. But let's get into it anyway. The Gematria. Sure. We've got the Christ. The Christ as like that Christ consciousness is coming up, the awareness. Christianity will interpret this as literally Christ coming back. So keep in mind, you're going to have, with this Humane Pin coming out, you're going to have people talking about Christ is coming back. You're going to have a lot of people talking about the Christ consciousness. Keep that in mind. All of that is a signal. If you don't want to, you do not have to feed your energy into it. Just be aware and know what is coming. Okay? The Christ. So the bird is free. So also when it comes to Gematria, it's showing the pendulum, or it's showing the frequency wave of all the 403 and 111 essentially, though this doesn't connect to 111 in simple Gematria, but it's basically showing a chain reaction. Okay, so what you are going to see is positive and negative polarities on the same spectrum. It kind of doesn't matter if it's showing positive or negative, just pay attention to the sign. Okay, the sign is important, but the bird is free. Freedom is coming from kind of this, but we're getting caution as well. So be cautionate about this shit. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I saw the humane thing, and we're gonna take a little look at Twitter now. I saw this and I was like, yo, it looks a little cool. You know, I mean, it can show up on your hand. It can do all that. However, it's basically like a 24/7 surveillance. And maybe that's where we're heading to, you know. My mentor in his Red Pill podcast, Waters Above, do check him out. He is the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Check him out. But anyway, he did bring up the fact of like, oh, what's happened here? He's brought up the fact of this symbol. So if you can see here, it's like an eclipse symbol, and we spoke about, we had post eclipse energies, and it's just so interesting that this has come out after the eclipse. If you do not know, go check out the video that they have. But basically this device here, like, it seems cool, like, I'm not gonna lie. However, according to the astrology and the Gematria, it's making me definitely take a step back. But the name of all of these is eclipse, equinox. No, you've got a solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, and then equinox. They are the three names of this device here, and it's symbolism alone, because symbology is so important. It's just so important. This is basically just an eclipsing symbol. You've got the sun here, and then you can see like the moon is coming in as the eclipse. So it's just showing that this is coming in as part of the story, as what like potentially mainstream astrology is showing. Now bear in mind, mainstream astrology is inaccurate, okay, because it's not what's happening in the sky. So have caution for sure. I will be doing an in-depth video about why to have caution basically upon these new technological advances that come out now, because it is not the time. Please hear me when I say that it is not the time. Pluto is in Capricorn in the sky. It is not in Aquarius. Aquarius, the new innovative ideas will come out. That's not coming until 2040, so we've got time. So all of the stuff coming out now can be deception, so have caution, because what's happening right now in the natural energies is setting a solid foundation for long-term goals with the Capricorn energy. So new innovative ideas, please have caution for it. We then have 888. This came up for me because the 888, you know, in the Gregorian calendar, my life path is a 8, as well as my 2 children. So this kind of came up for me. 888, we're getting 16, and 16 add another 8 is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 24. So we're getting X. 24 equals X on the alphabet. X marks the spot. Okay, so this AI pin is literally signaling that X marks the spot. We've had on our Gematria breakdowns before that X marks the spot with Twitter turn into X, etc., etc. So pay attention to the X's, as I mentioned before, the different X's that are coming up. Okay, 888, 24, X marks the spot with this AI pin. We've got Shabbat Shalom. This is super interesting to me. This, when it comes to Gematria, if you notice things that incorporate into your own life, pay attention to, because for me, Shabbat Shalom, I was balls deep into the Seventh-day Adventist religion, which confirmation burp, which covers the Shabbat Shalom, which is the 7th day, the Saturn's day, which is Shabbat Shalom, is the Sabbath day. So this is just a signal to me personally that, you know, I'm kind of on the right track. It's kind of like in alignment. So make sure you pay attention to things that pop up to you personally. Okay. And obviously take a look yourself. What else pops up for this number in your personal life? We've got Dixon. This is another personal connection as my family name. It's not spelt like this, but Dixon runs in my family. So that's just another personal connection. So I know I'm on the right path. Pocahontas. I have been drawn to Pocahontas, Disney recently, just so much now. And it's interesting how the AI pin come up and it's related to this. So again, there's no coincidences. This is a chain reaction. This is another personal thing for me. If you have been drawn to Pocahontas recently, this could be why. Be aware, basically. But this AI pin is brutal. It is brutal. Again, linking back to it is not the time. It is not the time. But anyway, we'll go further. We'll try to get through this quickly. We've got a Nasara, a Gasara. So this is coming up with the Nasara Gasara narrative of, yep, there's going to be a level playing field, etc., etc. So from this AI pin, as things unfold, the narratives unfold, they may potentially be offering this Nasara Gasara situation, basically, of leveling the playing field, of making finances a little bit easier. But I also need you to be aware of, it is time to live. And there are many jobs ultimately that don't even require humans, where you can have the possibility to live, but it's not living and relying on what they are doing. It's literally about living how you would choose to, your own direction. So make sure you're doing your own direction at this time for sure. But this, I don't know if it's going to be like the CBDCs and just leveling it out. We'll see how the story unfolds, but keep in mind, we've got stuck. So it's kind of like this is going back to, it's just not the time for this advanced technology. It's weaving in, but it's not time for these innovative ideas. Because Pluto is still in Capricorn. It's not in Sagittarius. It's not in Aquarius, forgive me, in the sky. When it's in Aquarius in the sky from 2039 to 2040, essentially, when it kind of sets in, then accept it. You know, these things coming in may be more just compliant with human nature. However, because mainstream astrology is off by 23 or so degrees, they are infiltrating energies much earlier than when Gaia, the natural state, like Earth, is ready for. So be aware. And as I said, it seems so cool, it's so enticing, but it's not the time, and it may leave you stuck. So we've got door closing. So from this energy of the AI pin coming in, we had like the golden, we had like the door opening, like this is the door of all doors, golden ticket, etc, etc. I'm just generally seeing this is giving a signal, because this is how the elite signal to each other, on how this is how they communicate. They know kind of like what to do. They recognize potentially when it comes to investing opportunities, the door is closing. So keep that in mind. And I have brought up, we will be getting our like dip into the market the end of November, December, and then after that, April may be our last time. And then that's it. We're going up. So we've got birthright. Of course, as I mentioned, this is the pendulum. It's swinging from both ways. It's positive and negative vibrations happening at the same time. But ultimately, this energetic shift that is coming in with this AI pin is part of our birthright. Yet, not that exactly, but what we're naturally inclined to. If you're feeling, oh, no, to this, just trust yourself. We've got keep it simple. I feel now is the time to keep it simple. If you've been feeling to get rid of shit, get rid of it. Keep your life as simple as possible. We've got crop circles. If that does come up in, like, you know, if you're on TikTok, social media, if that comes up as stories, pay attention, because again, that is another sign of all of these connections coming to fruition. We've got more to come. A lot is coming at this time. Elohim Ipipodes. This is just interesting. I'm not quite sure what Ipipodes mean. However, we've got the Elohim in here. If you feel called to look into that, feel free, because we work as one united system. Please come to me with your findings of this. However, the Elohim is the L, it's the gods, it's the elemental, the periodic table of L. They are the gods kind of like doing the most right now before the Lord, Yeshua, Kronos, tried to do his own thing. So the Elohim are a part of this, the creation, basically. We've got XTC. So this is a cryptocurrency. So I have not heard of it personally, though I have pulled up the chart. So it's interesting, as this has come up and it's been here for a while. It's at $7 right now, $7 point something. It's been, I don't know if just this chart is far, but it's been here for a while. Oh, it's going further then. It's 2001. December 2001. That's interesting. So whatever the fuck this is here, you know? So definitely pay attention to XTC. Another X marks the spot. And we've got Anunnaki code. So the Anunnaki gods are involved in all of this humane technology. They are bringing it in. They are ushering it in 23 or so degrees earlier than it should be. Okay? Please don't fall for the nonsense of all of this. So, oh, forgive me. I have to click on it to get it all up. Have to click on it. My intention is that you are all okay as I'm filling in this gap. Anyway, we've got auction. I just find this interesting because whatever the elite, not even the elites, the 1% elites are irrelevant in this whole story, but the 3 races that are controlling our realm, it's just like, is there an auction going on of just like what's happening right now? Are the ones who want to, you know, the more positive side, is there an auction happening to say we are in charge of the Earth Center right now, because there's shitload happening. We've got cobalt blue. So I'm not entirely sure of what the cobalt is. However, we've got another blues clues. If you've been following me, we have been following the blues clues ever since the Maui fires and blue wasn't burnt. So this is just showing another blues clues. So this is just another signal that this is on the timeline. It's the story. We've got Notting Hill. It just reminded me of Notting Hill Carnival or Notting Hill London. Yeah, so London may play a big role, maybe Notting Hill. We've got Adolf Hitler. Again, his story was very interesting. We were portrayed the story of he was just awful, terrible. But maybe look into history, you know? Maybe look into his story. Yeah, he may be popping up on the timeline. Maybe we'll get some revelations of what he was truly about. We will see, but he's come up. We've got Hidden Coast. This is wild to me personally, because as we looked into the hidden continent called Zealandia, we're getting hidden coasts. So it's just like our land masses appearing in our reality now that this Humane AI pin has come up. If you are in the UK, you've got the Prime Minister talking about migration to other countries so yeah, just that was interesting. So we've got I feel perfection. So again, the other side of the pendulum is like existence is existing right now. It's playing out the code that it's ready to play out. And there's perfection in all of this geometry. We've got the bloodlines. So when it comes to obviously bloodlines, whether it's the elite or your bloodline, impact is happening. Change is happening from the bloodlines. We've got Hellstorm. Oh gosh. So I don't know. I'm generally feeling 2024 is potentially going to be a mad one. So maintain your energy, know what you want to invest in and pay your attention to. We've got Atheist. This may come up a lot on the world stage of atheists just doing narratives. If you're on social media, if you're just watch the media, whatever, these may come up a lot. You may have them pop up in your life, just like, oh, I'm an atheist, I don't kind of believe in anything. So just pay attention. That's code to the AI pin. Go back to sleep. So it's like from this whole AI pin, they're just like, it's time to sleep, baby. Go back to sleep. It's all right. Just chill. This is why, though it looks motherfucking cool, it's like, whoa, we can have it on our hand. It's like, go back to sleep. We then have pro-racism. So you may get a lot again on social media just talking about race wars, just all of that nonsense. And I always say, we are one race. A house divided cannot stand. Ignore that. We are different shades, different heights, different personalities of one race. So let's unite. Okay, it's time to unite. But hallucinogen. So hallucinating. I just found that interesting. Iron rods, again, I found that interesting. Iron, and we're moving from the age of like iron into gold, lead to gold, biblical reference. Backdoor action. So with this whole Humane AI pin, there's backdoor action happening right now that's like not even being acknowledged by most people, so keep that in mind. Deprogramming, again, another side of the pendulum. At this time, with all of this shit going on, deprogramming will be happening for a how can I put it, like for some people. Basically, it's not going to be everyone, because not everyone can awaken at this one time. However, deprogramming may be happening. People will be awakening to what's going on, and it's happening for a reason. And this is like a kickstart into potentially their agenda. Like, as I said, it's not the time for this innovative technology, because Pluto enters Aquarius when that will come about naturally in 2039 to 2040. So it's like they're kickstarting their shit, basically. Democrats. This just brought me back to the UK. I know if you're American or whatever, but it brings me back to the UK of Democrats. So yeah, like keep in mind, I do not pay attention to politics and all that shit. It's just noise to me. So of course, if anyone just is drawn to that area, please let me know, like what the Democrats are doing. Let me know. But that's all I see with that word. Eternal flame. So we're getting kind of like that passion, that flame is being ignited at this time. So if you are generally feeling to follow your passion, do it. Trust yourself 100%. Get prepared. This is get prepared, not get prepared, but it's time to prepare now. As I mentioned before, like end of November, December may be the last best buying opportunity for this year, and the next last time will be like the end of winter going into spring 2024, and then that's it. So get prepared for the nonsense that they're ready to spew out. We have purging. This whole time people will be awakening, they'll be purging all of that shit that's coming out. Recluse, you may feel as you are purging, you just want to just recluse yourself, just be by yourself. Finishing off that 7 energy, because we are in a 7 universal year, and I will be doing a video moving from the 7 universal year to the 8 universal year, so pay attention to that. But these energies of being that like recluse, that 7 energy, you kind of want to be by yourself. It's the hermit, to kind of just reflect. So with this AI pin, if you're generally feeling that, trust yourself, be by yourself, like wisdom will come, just trust yourself. Sleeper cells. So this, like, it highlighted to me because like the cells in our body, they're trying to obviously keep you asleep with this humane AI pin, because as I said, it's not the time. Install hope. On the opposite side of the spectrum, hope is being installed right now. You're probably recognizing your flame, your passion, and just like, yes, I see, so trust yourself and just shine your light. We've got humanoid god, interesting. Freedom of speech. So again, it's kind of like this narrative may pop up on the world stage. There may be a suppression of freedom of speech. There may be fighting for freedom of speech. But if this comes up, just pay attention to everything it's connection to. We've got retract lies. So this I found interesting because we have been told a shitload of lies, and maybe potentially for those who are in that consciousness awareness to see all of this, lies may be retracted, whether this is from, it could be anything, like you've got what's it called, Tartaria. You've just got a lot of things that they've lied about. You got the darkest. So again, this is just highlighting to me, it's not the time for this technology. Like, it's not the time. So those who subscribe to this and enter this energetic frequency of the pendulum, maybe enter in the darkest, and forbidden gates. Again, it's not the time. It's just not the time naturally. Target food. So this is just telling me, it's just like the food will be heavily targeted. So pay attention to what you're eating for sure, and grow your own, grow your own for sure. So part 6 of the Hebrew, we've got a laugh of pain. So it's like people are just in pain, they're just laughing. I just found this interesting. Depressed. Depression may come about heavily. Pay attention to that. If you are aware of this, and if you fall into depression, feel the feelings, you know what I'm saying? Feel the feelings, and when you feel that you have come from it, and if you notice other people in it, just be there to support them, allow them to feel their feelings too. But this may come up a lot. It's nothing to take light. Listen to people, just listen to how they're feeling. It's not going to be the easiest time as we go into 2024. All be together. It's literally the time for unity. It's the time to support each other, as I said. Focus, of course, on yourself, sustain your energy, and only when you have the capacity to give to others to expand, be together with others. Defend union. Again, the other side of the pendulum. It's time now to just defend the union. This Humane AI Pin coming up. Union is so important, and I have done a video on the 5D timeline has now activated, and it's all about union and connection. So do check that out. I will link it. Nasara Gasara is coming up, that level playing field. It's the perfect time. It's happening now, people. We've got the peacemakers, again, those who are in alignment. This is like a biblical reference if you see it from that perspective. But for those who are in that unity consciousness, it's about bringing that peace to the chaos that's coming. Obama court, I just found that interesting because Obama, he's openly just said even more about Michael instead of Michelle, because we all don't know she was a transgender, and that's okay. If you want to change your gender when you're an adult, do what you're doing. It's your business. It's just the whole lie about it. Just behave. But his court, what is he court about? He may appear on the world stage. If he does, pay attention. He's already appeared on the world stage, but just pay attention, because all of these coincidences, connections, it's linking. We've got that rabbit. We right now, as you are watching this video, we are in the year of the rabbit. So again, another mind-blowing connection. Pay attention to that. And this is that AI pin. So we're going to move into the ordinal now. The ordinal 111 breaks down to 3. So it's a new energetic frequency, as I done said, and it appears on your hand like this. We've got AI Humane Pin. I do want to take a peep. Oh, forgive me. I do want to take a peep at... Oh, I've done this twice. Ignore me. The ordinal. So we've got 42, and I'm more than sure... I will put it as a comment because I've not got my notepad with me. This is a war symbol, the Chaldean war. 42 may be war, but I need to clarify, so I'll put it as a comment if that's the case. But if it is, pay attention to obviously all the war. We do know that war narratives are coming up. Okay, so do keep that in mind. We've got Andrew Tate. I've never watched him, to be honest, but a lot of people do, and if he just appears more on the world stage, of course, pay attention. We've got this, so if this narrative comes up about the place, pay attention. Got computer. This just reminded me of a simulation that we're in. Got mark of beast. So this is where I was just like, whoa. It seems fascinating, but the Gematria and the numerology and the astrology is just telling me no, it's just not the time. We've also got that 69 here, as below, so above. So it's interesting. 111. We've got New York. Pay attention to what happens in that city. Image of Satan, 111. Mark of the beast, giving that as below, so above. 69 again. So yeah, everything is just screaming to me. It may seem fancy, it's just not the time for it. We've got this again, so this may pop up on the scene. Booked. No, I added the D shouldn't have been there. It would have been 111. Book of the Dead. So again, interesting. Beast test, so again, the mark of the beast, sign of Satan, etc, etc. This is like the test of it, and because mainstream astrology is just that ahead of time, this humane technology has come out just that ahead of time before it's ready. This is like a test, so don't fall for it. We've got perfection coming up again. Perfect. The hand or the head. So if you subscribe to religion, you would know that the image of the beast happens in the hand or the head. We got receive the mark. Is it going to be in the hand or the head? But I'll also be honest, the phone that we have right now is kind of like the mark of the beast, because let's be honest, and I'm seeing 322 on the clock as I open my phone. This is early hours of the morning. Skull and bones, but ultimately we have the mark of the beast kind of already, so it's our phones. It's just there. How many of us can't live without it, you know? An absence of God. So this is just like, God for me is, it is not, I need to make this clear, it's not the Lord, it's not the biblical reference of God, it's the 0 point frequency, that source, it's source basically 0 point frequency. So this AI humane technology is absent of the 0 point frequency, which is neutrality. So again, another confirmation that it is not the time, giving us that 6-9 as below so above as well. We've got a satanic mark again, like yo, hardened heart, people at this time, giving us that 6-9 as below so above. People's heart may be hardened at this time, probably seeing what is, you know, but no matter, just focus on yourself. We've got wicked will, so people don't have the best will and intentions happening right now. So we've got son of sin. Son of sin, ultimately sin, I know they've made us afraid of it, yet it's the sine wave. It's just a sine wave of our reality, especially if you were to add the E. We are getting that 42, and if I'm sure that's linked to war. So war is a big narrative right now. Santa Claus, there's no coincidences that this is coming up round about when Santa Claus is making his appearance on stage. Again, we're getting that 69 as below so above, as well as 21, which is Saturn, which is time. So it's kind of showing me the hologram is kind of on time with what it's doing, I guess. We've got forehead sign 66, 12, which is the opposite, it's the mirror of the Saturn low Gematria code 21, giving 12. So forehead sign, mark of the beast again is coming up. Oh, was that everything? No. We then have forehead sign, as you can see anyway, it says corrupt. So this energy is kind of corrupt. It's super significant at this time, and we've got this corrupt with 42. So if this is war, I really need to get my book, but I can't pause the video and continue. I don't know how to do that. So this war and everything going to happen. We've got 669. This right now, this Humane Ai Pin is significant. It's telling us a lot. We've got the God of Israel. So that is Saturn. It's like Yahweh, it's Kronos, it's all of that shit basically. Humanity, it's impacting humanity, and we're getting that 42 again. War. The unseen, 42, potentially war. I really need to check my book, I don't know. But it is unseen, kind of like what's coming is unseen. We're getting this Nikola Tesla, so this is probably where even more technologies may come out. But pay attention for those who are kind of just offering like, yeah, this is the technology, because again, it's just not really the energetic time. But we've got new age begins. So the new age is beginning. We had a lot of the end of time, the beginning of the end is now, blah blah blah, from past Gematria breakdowns, and now I guess it begins. As I said, I did do a video on the 5D timeline. It's now activated because the 5D is now back online. We then have Joe Biden beast. He's doing the most right now. He's probably, it's not even him on the world stage. He's just being told what to do. We've got May 1st. So this was fascinating to me because it's just like, okay, what's happening in May? We had a lot of the timeline. Easter is the timeline. We had a lot of that stuff coming up. Spring as well. So yeah. We've got grey aliens. This narrative just may appear on the stage. We're getting that 52 as well. 52 is rabbit. And we are in the year of the rabbit. We're getting hidden golden key. This is the golden key, people. Take notes. Strength. You will get strength at this time, even if it's during war. Giving that 42. Yeah, strength. Forgive me, it just come off. We've got the dollar sign. So the dollar may get strong at this time. It may get strong. So not like this time right now as you're watching this video, but as these chain of events unfold and the dollar, like, just pay attention to the dollar. We've got the dragon. So the dragon energy is coming up. The phoenix rising is happening right now. Monetary. All of this shit is about money. It's about money. This is why it's in the Crypto Angles podcast. And we're getting that 42 war again about money. We've got ancient god Ra. So giving that 69 again, as below so above. So Amen Ra, it's a god and you lot are praying to it and you don't even know. But anyway, solar flash. If you are confirmation burp in any like communities, you probably know there's solar flashes happening, so do pay attention to that. We've got dollar crash. So even though we've got like the dollar, will it crash at this time or during this initiation? Like, I do see the dollar being quite strong, or there may be a crash into this. You know, we will take a look at the technical analysis and see, but we're getting that as below so above again. Huge proof. This is proof, people, so just pay attention. Getting that 3 mirrored equals 8. A new energetic toroidal field, but 6 is the material, so change is happening in the material right now with this, okay, and it's huge proof. Hurricane Ida. As I says, we need to work together as one unity consciousness. If anyone feels drawn to look up Hurricane Ida, or if Hurricane Ida comes up randomly out of the blue, pay attention. Okay, 6612, giving Saturn again the mirror of Saturn. We've got Black Panther as below, so above again. I don't know the Black Panther movie, the next one coming out. But if there's talk about it coming out, pay attention because it's linked to all of this. Number 3, Black Panther number 3. We've got Wake Up Neo. If you arrange this also says Wake Up 1. Neo is the 1. We're getting that 42, potentially war again. You know, I'm saying war so many times. I don't know. I'll put it in the comments. But Neo, Matrix vibes, wake up, basically. Satan's hell. Oh gosh. Pizzagate. This is coming up with war as well. So again, if this comes up kind of like a lot on the world stage, it's signaling all of this. Venezuela. So like, I connected with a fellow wolf, and there's a few people I've connected with from Venezuela. So, and there was a video where like some light being, or I don't even know, a shadow entity appeared in Venezuela. So pay attention to what happens there, I guess. We're getting that 132 as well. We've got partners. Pay attention to the partners who are involved in the AI Humane Pin. And clockwork. It's moving like clockwork. We're getting that 132 again. Yeah. So 2 more parts, okay? We're getting King Harry. So pay attention to what Harry's doing on the world stage, because he's the most right now. And 132, him and Meghan just aren't doing the best, apparently. But anyway, a martial law. If a martial law is implemented at this time, or just you come across a martial law. That's your own personal, code, I guess. We've got Dragon Heart, another dragon code coming up, entering into the year of the dragon, Phoenix energy. We've got the start. So as we had like the end, it's starting now. We've got the start of something new, I guess, with all of this humane shit. AI. Heart of Gold, another gold code here. We've had a lot of the golden ticket, the golden stairway, gold. We're turning from lead to gold, and we're technically gold now. We're entering into this gold era. So Heart of Gold, White Dove, pay attention to that. Oh, White Dove again, giving us that war energy in that 132. Mr. Podesta, wasn't he like someone? Podesta, I don't know, something to do with Epstein's Island. If this resonates with you, let me know. Slaughter. It just may not. I just don't feel 2024 will be. It'll be wild. Those who prepare will have preparation, but if you're not prepared, let's say it got some time. We got MoneyGram again coming up with the war symbol and 132. MoneyGram in our last video with not Zelanthia. Yes, Zelanthia, not Zelandia, Zelanthia. Our birth origins, we came up with MoneyGram XRP. So when it comes to this whole AI pin, MoneyGram is coming up. So this is just like an app that you can use to like send money, isn't it? So pay attention to that. Pay attention to that, lad. Retrograde. Like, obviously I'm attuned to the sky, so maybe shit will happen during certain retrogrades. So I'm gonna just, my intuition is saying pay attention to the retrogrades that are happening during spring, the end of winter, spring. Pay attention to the retrogrades that are happening at that time. And then the last one before we get into the astrological story and then the technical analysis, we've got red and white. So this is interesting because we're entering into Christmas time. Santa wears red and white, etc., etc. So this is a big symbol. It's a big symbol. And oh gosh, we're getting the war symbol, that 42. Oh, okay. It may be 41, I don't know. But either way, even if it's not linked to war, we've got a lot of 42 popping up. And we've got another 42, Book of John. I will take a look into this as well as I get into like my esoteric Bible stories segment. I do have some videos out on it and there will be more. But if you do feel called to look into the Book of John, please do look, because we're getting this 42 as well. So do not panic. Don't panic with the nonsense that's going on. Just chill. Digital chip ID is en route, I guess. It's en route. It's coming. Royal blues. So again, we're getting that 132. We've got a lot of those. But blues clues. So pay attention. I'm going to say if the royal family wear blue. Pay attention. That's just what's intuitively coming to me right now. But we've got another blues clue, so we're on the right track for sure. Second wave. This is interesting. Depending on your perspective, the second wave probably already done happened. I don't know, but it's linked to it. Alan Watts, if he appears just up on the world stage with his teachings, pay attention. It may be interesting. We're getting that 132 and Saturn as well. And 28. Fascinating with Alan Watts. So, yeah. That's the last of it. So let's get into the astrological story anyway. If that resonated, if anything stood out to you, please let me know. If you see any of those numbers that relate to your life, or if you see them just pop up in the hologram, pay attention. It's a signal, okay? It is a signal. The hologram works on numbers, so we're just entering awareness right now. So we are in this cycle. So what is the astrological story of this cycle? We've got Lilith entering Libra. We have a switch in energies happening on the 20th. We have the Sun and Mars entering Scorpio. Okay, of course, do grab this calendar if you'd like, or grab the next year's calendar as well and follow along. But what is this telling me with Lilith entering Libra? So, excuse me, Lilith shows what we are suppressed in quite naturally. So when it comes to this Libra energy of bringing in balance, ultimately, there may be naturally some suppression. I have spoke about this on my general energy update, so do check that video out if you'd like to see how it links to your general life. However, in the market, I'm seeing there may be some suppression around balancing. Okay, like it's just like, oh, what's kind of happening? There may be, when it comes to Lilith, she was the first wife of Adam, and ultimately she was suppressed and she grew her wings and said fuck this shit, and she flew away. So it's kind of like it represents what you're passionate about, but you're suppressed in that area. So it's like there's suppression in that area, though we're passionate about it in terms of balance. So when it comes to the market, I'm generally seeing there could be a potential like indecisiveness of the market. That's kind of what I'm seeing. There may be some suppression in there on getting that balance that's happening this cycle. But ultimately, confirmation, but she flew away and grew her wings to obviously fulfill her passion. So quite naturally, though there may be some suppression there, though there may be some external influences making it seem like the market isn't going up, and I feel that that's what's coming through to me. The market may at times seem like, oh gosh, is it gonna come up? And it may not even be for long. It may just be like till the end of November, beginning of December. So not for too long. But that indecisiveness may appear, basically. So do keep an eye out for that. However, it's the general passion of people to create that balance in the market. So even when it comes to whales investing, you investing, you kind of wanting to create that balance of what you see in your head, because Libra, it comes from the ether, this little bubble right here, like the big bubble basically, and you bring it out into the plane of existence to be weighed in balance. So if there is some suppression there, if there's some external noise kind of just saying, oh, like, yeah, crypto's this, it's that, it's not going anywhere, blah blah, ignore it. That's a sign to just say, yeah, this is my passion and this is happening, the balance is happening, basically. So ultimately I am seeing the market is balancing. We do have this shift in energy on the 20th with the first quarter moon. So we were in the new moon energy, which lasts for 5 days. So we got 1 2 3 4 5. So essentially by the time you're watching this video, we have found our resistance level. Okay, I will put up the new moon on the technical analysis at the end. I will put that up so we can see the new moon, so we can see the resistance of where the market is for XRP and Bitcoin. But essentially we have reached where our resistance level is. Okay, and we're moving in to find our bottom, our support, our new support, which potentially will be a higher low. Yeah, it will be a higher low than the last low that we've had round about the 27th and in this energy. So do keep that in mind. But I need to also bring in mind that this full moon energy, and we will get into the luminary positions that's happening this cycle in this video on the 26th. But ultimately this new moon energy is coming in 1 2 the 25th, 3 4 5. It's coming in on Wednesday, Mercury Day, which is all about energy. It's all about energy exchange and ultimately crypto money. Not just crypto, but just money, energetic exchange regarding money. Of course, if you want to know energetic exchange regarding communication, thoughts, check out my other video. However, please keep in mind that this energy of finding its bottom is coming in on Wednesday this cycle. All right, so we found our top, and essentially price will find its bottom round about this time, and during this time, it could even be this time, if not, the energy still lasts from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, basically till December, to find its bottom before continuing to the upside. All right, so do keep that in mind for sure from Wednesday. All right, and I've said many times before, the end of November into December may be the last best buying opportunity for cryptocurrencies for 2023. All right, the next best buying opportunity may be the end of winter, beginning of spring, because Easter is the timeline, spring is the timeline. So grab what you can. This is not financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor, of course. But grab what you can, I guess. Take the profits from that, sort yourself out, and reinvest in April, or not even April, but like end of winter before spring starts. But as we move on, anyway, we've got the Sun and Mars in Scorpio. So the Sun represents ego. So the ego is it's our lens on how we perceive reality. So ultimately, we are perceiving reality through this Scorpio lens. So the way people interact with this market is through this Scorpio lens right now. And our Mars, our drive and our passion, again, is through this Scorpio lens. Scorpio is very passionate, it's deep, it's about recognizing what may seem like a vulnerability, but ultimately that is a strength. So for me, that is kind of signifying to me higher lows in the market. So as the market's potentially going low and people see that as, oh shit, that's a weakness, it's not going anywhere, this is a sign of strength ultimately, because Scorpio is just passionate. It's like you're seeing it from this ego, and your drive and your passion is just like, yes, the market is low, this is an investing opportunity. So ultimately, that is what I am seeing this cycle. We will get into this cycle in the next cycle, and we'll see how it goes. If you've not known by now, I changed the word WEEK to cycle, because we are not weak. And you know, you don't have to subscribe to that, but my ADHD brain just sees it as WEAK, and I'm not weak, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, this is this cycle, okay? So yeah, do let me know if this resonates for you, if you see that in the technical analysis, and if you like the astrology part, I'd love to know. But let's get into the technical analysis of this video. So this was just XDC. It's just there, it's doing what it's doing. I don't know what this is, to be honest, but let's take a look at Bitcoin, because that's the most important. It's the most important, my lad. It is. So I forgive me, I shouldn't even spoke then. I want to look at the monthly, to take a look at the candle, because I'm sure I says in my last video, we kind of won't know. Just hide all the drawings. We're kind of not going to know the monthly candle until it closed. Or was it the W? Okay, so On Bitcoin, I'm liking, this is definitely a sign of strength. We are in November. This monthly candle hasn't closed, so it would just be amazing to obviously see how this closes. The RSI of this kind of looking healthy. There's definitely room, potential retracement for movement on the upside, okay, for the monthly for Bitcoin. Wow, it's literally 4 well, almost 4 a.m. I don't know what sleep is to me at this time. But anyway, I'm happy that I'm getting this video done now. Okay, so on this one, with the RSI, I am kind of seeing we are definitely not heavily overbought, but from how Bitcoin has just moved so much, we can definitely retrace. So this is just confirming to me that Scorpio energy, though it may seem like a vulnerability, it's just like, whoa, you're getting weak. But that's a strength because the crypto market is just creating its structure for continuation to the upside. So, yeah, straight off the bat, without all the lions there, if price even wicks to 32 to 31, just, I guess, don't be surprised, but it may not. It may just be up to here, 34. It may not go below 34, potentially even until like the new year for that deep retracement for continuation to the upside. So it may not. Okay, so do definitely keep that in mind. The daily, I will add the moon signs at the end of this, but on the daily, okay, so what I'm kind of seeing here straight off the bat is that it is super extended from the moving average. I don't have the 200 moving average right now, which would give us another insight, but I feel we can just work with these for this video. What it's kind of showing me on the daily, we have been overbought. Even at this area, we were overbought here at 34, and Bitcoin just continued on up to still be overbought at 36, around about the 36k mark, and it's on its way down. So and as this yellow on the RSI, this yellow moving average is sloping down, it just shows me that on the daily it would just be super healthy for it to just come back down, you know what I mean? So it's not so overbought at this time. So yes, so just kind of looking at this alone on the daily, I am seeing downward momentum for the crypto market. Look at these two candles here as well. It was quite strong going up, and we had quite an equal strong candle coming down. It was not the full length, but it's still quite strong. So it's just telling me it needs to retrace, and that's also okay because it needs to set up its solid foundation. All right, I just want to take a little look at the line chart. Yeah, so again, it's like that 30 to 31 region kind of looks enticing. However, 34 is where it could hover to. So what I'd kind of like you to keep an eye out for is if price literally breaks below, even if it breaks below 35, if it breaks below 35, it will be coming back to 34 for sure. And I'd like you to just keep an eye out for this 34 region, because if it does break below that, it is coming back down to 30. And for me personally, if it does come back down to 30, it's still perfect because it's creating a higher low. It will be up here, and the high is no, a lower, no, a high, yeah, a higher low. So the low is higher than this previous point. So even if it does come back to here, that would still be fine. It's not fine. But it's like this 33 to 34 region. It could hover from. So if it hovers there and breaks below, it's just like, oh, we're going a little bit lower, fam. We're going a little bit lower, you know. But all perfect buying opportunities, so it's not anything to worry about. Again, just on the 4 hour, we are quite far from all of the moving averages, the luminaries. However, I like that Saturn, Pluto and Mercury is above Uranus, Venus and Neptune right now. That's amazing. So it is showing upward momentum. However, it's just super far from it. So if it does want to come down, again, it's that 31 to 30 zone. Don't cross that out. Like, if it falls in this area, it's that Scorpio energy of people thinking that's weak. That is weak. Like, literally this Scorpio energy. And it doesn't last, well, the sun doesn't last for long because it enters into Ophiuchus on the 30th in November. So it doesn't last for long. However, Mars will still be in it. So if it does break below 34 to 33, if it does, it will find support round about here. 31 may wick down to it. So just don't fear, basically. Perfect buying opportunities. When people are just like, it's not happening. It's not happening, lad. That's basically the time to kind of just do it. So on the RSI, on the hour, what I'm kind of seeing is we could easily get rejected off the moving average of this yellow line, which could send us downward. Okay, so I am seeing downward momentum. We will take us, oh, not the 5 minute. Oh gosh. I'm just generally seeing a bit of downward momentum this cycle to the end of November. And on the 15 minute price, when I can get to it for crying out loud, it's underneath the moving averages. However, it's, oh, that's interesting, because when Saturn, Pluto and Mercury is below, it's just kind of signaling downward momentum. Venus, Neptune and Uranus is kind of like in a straight line, and price may get rejected off that to send it lower. So definitely keep that in mind. Oh, can I say confirmation cough? Right, I don't want to be too long on this. Let's get into XRP. It's 4 a.m. I had a nap, to be fair. I had some DMT and it was wild. So I feel that's probably why I got the energy to do this. But anyway. So, on this time frame, the winner, the winner time frame, this candle here is showing me a shift in the market. Okay, so this candle alone is showing just a little indecision about this upward momentum, and then though we peaked higher, we've kind of like come down. Excuse me, we've kind of come down. So this is just confirming to me there is just a little downward momentum happening this cycle. And as you can see on the RSI, we are sloping down. We may rest a little here and go down a little bit. But we will see. We will see. Oh, gosh. I can't edit these videos, people, so you get in raw, live, real. Okay, raw, live, real. So on the daily anyway, the RSI on the daily is showing that it was overbought at this time, and it's making its way down. Like there's kind of like nothing more to say. It seems like it's making its way down. As you can see on the RSI, it is sloping down to just come down a little further. This further movement could just rest on these moving average. XRP, I've noticed it does like to break out where it does like to retest where it broke from, round about that 54 to 53 region. So that could be in the cards for sure. Okay, and again, it's still healthy. It's creating a high, it would create a higher low compared to this low. So that would be good. You know what I'm saying? That would be good. Another buying opportunity. And then on the 4 hour, okay, the RSI on the 4 hour is kind of low. So that's interesting. Though it's like there may be a little movement up with the candle. However, on the RSI, it may move up a little. It may get rejected off this 50 RSI to then come down. So there could potentially be one last leg down to this zone 56. That could be a potentiality. Is that a zone? Yeah. Basically back to this trading zone. It could be, and what I've noticed is that it's come under that line, and it's also, I don't know if you can see, but this red line over here and this red line, it kind of like lines up, and it is in it right now. So what I kind of want to see is if it holds this apex. That's what I'd like to see. If it cannot hold this apex, as you can see, we've gone back to the daily. This triangle right here, if it fell below it, and I said in my last video, it will either trade outside of it and hover down, or if it breaks below it, it could potentially just trade within this apex before breaking out in December. So what I would like to see, or what I'd like to pay attention to, excuse me, is this apex confirmation burp. But yeah, if XRP falls below the apex, then we could be reaching that 56 zone, potentially wicking to even 54. Like one fast deep wick again. That Scorpio energy of just like, you're weak as fuck, bruh. But ultimately, it's the strength, because now I'm building up this momentum to spring even further. But I would like to see how it interacts with the apex. Okay, the red triangles. Because as you can see, it literally just hit it and then went up right now. So it could hover along that, and it could potentially trade within it until December, the end of November, December, like literally coil up like a spring and just go pew. But if it wicks below it, pay attention as well. Just another perfect buying opportunity. And we'll see how it responds. It could fall below, find support on this, but ultimately, even if it does fall below and enters back in within this range, pay attention. I feel this range is quite potent, because this top red line is the highs of what it achieved when it was in back in 2017 when it reached its all-time high. So it's quite a valid trend line, this is, okay? So yeah, I'd ultimately like to see how it responds with this. If it can stay in it, amazing. It will kind of just coil, just kind of do nothing. It may seem boring, just coil and then pew out. But if there is that one drop, especially if Bitcoin falls, this will fall as well. And I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of seeming likely. It's kind of seeming likely, but again, perfect buying opportunity. It's just not. It's not that deep. You know what I'm saying? It's really not that deep. Not that deep, lad. So on the hour, it does look like we do. Oh, with the RSI, it depends how we interact with this level. We could get rejected at the 50 to then come down. So do keep that in mind. That could be another signal, as well as it's just under Uranus right now. It's under Uranus, Neptune, and Venus. However, obviously this is on the upside, which is good, but price isn't above it, so that's not the best sign. So it is showing me momentarily downside. Again, just another confirmation of that. We'll take the last look on the 15-minute time frame. Oh, so 15-minute time frame. It's kind of showing me the RSI. It's kind of looking to just slope down already. Yeah. It seems like it's going a little bit down, okay, in the markets, but that's okay. That's totally fine, because even more buying opportunity. See, even more buying opportunity. So this is not a financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor. Yet I see buying opportunity. DXY. So I'll do the DXY and then I'll just dash on the moon phases after DXY. And then I'll go to bed. Hopefully then I'll sleep. I'll sleep. Anyway. Ooh. Okay, so this is interesting. I did see the dollar kind of going down in my last video, and it's fascinating that it's reached Mercury Pluto and it's under Saturn. Fascinating. Excuse me. So I find it interesting, obviously, how we kind of look at how perfect this is. Nah, people, I am getting better at my technical analysis, even though it may look like a mess at times. It may look like a mess. However, look at this. It kind of like dropped through, hit this zone, retested this zone, and then just fell through, retested this zone, and then fell through, and it's found support on Mercury and Pluto. So the market is closed right now. It will not open until 10 p.m. GMT time. From my perspective, Australia will open. It's the same time, but Australia is just a little bit earlier. They arisen a bit earlier. However, on the daily, looking at the RSI, this is just showing me it's not even finished going down. Like, I'll be honest, on the daily, even though it's like kind of done this whole candle, there may be a little bit of relief. There may be a bit of relief where the dollar's just kind of just like trying to show some strength, whilst the cryptos retest and go down. That could be a possibility, especially because it's being supported on Mercury and Pluto right now. And there could be a potential of, like, it's not hit this zone though, this next zone. So there's more movement that it could potentially do until the next zone. Let me move this over, this red line. So this red line is just another zone. Okay, and on the daily, it looks like it may even want to just test that zone. So when the market's open, if it does do that, just kind of just go back down to this zone. There may be a little upward movement in the crypto department. However, I feel it may kind of just hit this zone, try and bounce off it to just gain some recovery of some sort, which potentially may be the reversal of crypto whilst the DXY is recovering. However, yeah, it's like the RSI in here just seems like it really just wants to go down even further. There is a potential it could spring off of Pluto and Mercury and just like attempt to even just hit this zone again before going down, and that could, as it's like hitting this zone, retesting it one last time, that then could be the reversal of crypto going down. So keep in mind, it's either the dollar's going a little bit lower and then going up for the reversal, or it's being supported off this zone to do the reversal, and then crypto's just doing its thing. So the 4 hour okay, so on the 4 hour we're seeing it was heavily oversold here, heavily oversold, and then it's attempted again. Looking at the RSI right now, and on the RSI, when I put the mouse there, it kind of covers it, but if you just look at this area, oh, this more than likely may just touch this zone. So looking at on the smaller time frame, it may, as the market's open, it may touch this zone, causing crypto to just rise a little. And then it's from the touching of this zone and how the US dollar just responds to this zone could cause a little relief for the US dollar, allowing crypto and everything to just create its support that it actually needs. Okay, that's kind of what I'm seeing there, especially because it's underneath Uranus right now. So it's downward momentum. Yes, looking at the 1 hour, this seems like it's more than likely ready to touch this zone. Okay, so as the market's open, crypto could just go up a little bit, whilst the DXY just finds its support. And as the DXY kind of hovers, it may have a little bounce off it, just a little rejection. So like, oh, support, bounce. And that could be the reversal in crypto. That's kind of what I am seeing, to be honest. There's no need to go a little lower than that. So my throat, can you hear me? I'm not 100%. I'm about 72. I'm about 72%, bitch. Anyway. Like I've had a nap, but I've not slept. So let me just finish this video. Let me just go to the daily, put on the moon. I'm going to get rid of the RSI. We're going over just the moon phases for XRP and Bitcoin. Bitcoin and XRP. Should I say the other way around? So, let's get rid of the RSI and we shall add the moon, because I said moon cycles. I said we'll add it in the next video because the moon hadn't appeared before, and it should be there now. Sure. Yeah. Okay, so it's showing me with Bitcoin that 37 was its resistance. So that's its official resistance, 37. And it just seems like even if it doesn't go as low as 31, it may just find support on here and then continue on up, because that obviously was its last low with the full moon. But we want to see how Bitcoin just responds to this area. And of course, if it does break below that 31, 30 to 31k is its next region. But because the US dollar isn't moving that much, it may not even move that much, and it may literally just be this 34 zone. Like, it may not go below 34. Okay, so do keep that in mind. If Bitcoin is at 34, keep an eye on it. If you're able to invest, feel free, I guess. And if it does break below, then even better. Buying opportunity, but we want to see how it responds to this zone. If it goes lower, there's no panic. It's fine. It's just going to find support just a little bit lower to give us even more momentum to the upside. Okay, and looking at XRP before we summarize. Okay, so XRP's high was at 76. That's where the moon came in, 76, but price was at 74, 75. So and that was just one big ass wick. Wow, this is XRP, you know. It's just like, okay, resistance, I've hit you, I've come down. Like, that's XRP. Again, though XRP may trade in this apex, if it's just stagnant and sideways, just creating this sideways channel, like not moving that much, then it's ready to just pop out at the apex. And I guess the next full moon will just appear here. No, about here-ish. But if XRP does break out of this apex, then this is its next resistance. And even if the other full moon appears end of November here, it's still a higher full moon than this one. Confirmation burp. So again, it's still positive anyway, to then continue on to the upside. And as we're kind of following this trend line and then this one, it would just be interesting to see what XRP does. It will be interesting to see what it does. If it breaks past the apex, we're going to 54, 55, 54. Perfect buying opportunity again. Yeah, but if it stays in this region, this 60 cents region, is still an amazing buying opportunity. If you are in it for the long run, it really makes no difference. So yes, but XRP is creating higher lows. Bitcoin is creating higher lows. So that is a continuation to the upside. However, as we summarize this cycle and as we kind of end the month, we are entering into this vulnerability, which shows weakness, where people may feel it's weak, however it's strong as fuck. So this is why I'm also like not ruling out the deeper, not too deep, but slightly deeper correction to just make people think, what, I didn't even expect it to go to this point, because ultimately it's a strength. You see what I'm saying? And that is the Scorpio energy. That's the Scorpio energy. So if it does go there, there's no need to worry at this point. Crypto is embedded within our reality, within our hologram, so it's happening. And as long as it's creating higher lows and creating a perfect structure, it's doing its thing, you know, especially all before the Bitcoin halving happening in April, where things are popping off. But yeah, if this resonated at all, do let me know. If it helped with the Gematria, with the astrology, and with the technical analysis, do let me know. If you like this depth, if you find it interesting, yes. But this was Crypto Angles podcast number 34. So this was the source is ready to play. 7, 3 and 4, 7. Source is ready to play. If you would like the calendar that is in alignment with the sky, do grab it. As I mentioned, grab it. And if you would like a birth chart reading in alignment with the sky, contact me. And I'll see you for the next episode. Crypto Angles podcast number 35. 3 and 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whew! We're entering a new toroidal field as this Ophiuchus energy comes in. But anyway, comment if you liked it. And I'll see you in the next cycle. Angel out. Bye.